The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 914. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Pre-order a copy of Bridging the Confidence Gap, How Empowered Women Change the World on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Indigo, and all major book retailers worldwide. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She is the #1 best-selling author of the upcoming book, Unforgettable Presence, and is also a keynote speaker. And I'm super excited to have her on today to share her story on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lorraine K. Lee. Hey, Lorraine, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Of course. Hello, Sheena. Hello, listeners. So happy to be here with you today. As you mentioned, I have a book coming out at the end of April called Unforgettable Presence, Get Seen, Gain Influence, and Catapult Your Career. I am also a speaker and I teach with LinkedIn Learning and at Stanford Continuing Studies. So I do a lot of different things for my day job and I love it all.
Awesome. And first off, congrats on hitting #1 bestseller before the book came out. I think that's really great. Yeah, so to anyone who's listening, make sure you pre-order the book right away. And Lorraine, what's your cultural background?
Yeah, so I am Chinese American. My parents were born and grew up in Hong Kong, and then I grew up in LA.
Thanks for sharing that. And what be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I don't know if I have a specific quote, but maybe it's more of like a mentality in that you gain confidence by trying new and scary things. And that is something that over my career, I've gotten more comfortable doing and also realize the importance of doing that in order to grow confidence. So that's perhaps a mantra that I try to live by both personally and professionally.
I love that because we're always trying new things, right? And people think, "Oh, you're so confident, you're invincible." Actually, we're scared as F, right? We don't know what we're doing. But, being able to push through your fears to start something new is where you start building the confidence. I always, the hardest part of starting a journey is actually starting, right? And so I love that you practice that and that's your mantra. And it's a great reminder for all of us, even myself. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
I think I define it similarly to that mantra I mentioned, where you have self-confidence if you are someone willing to try the new and scary things and to feel like you can tackle something and do something even without having the experience. And I think there's also perhaps it's like an inner voice or just an inner feeling where you feel grounded and I don't want to repeat the word confidence, but you feel confident in yourself. You feel self-assured and know that whatever comes your way, given all the things that you've been able to do before and succeed at before, that you will be able to handle anything that comes your way.
Thanks for sharing that. And that's a great definition. I know sometimes, especially, as women, we tend to want to learn everything first before we go out there and make things happen. But sometimes you just got to go out there, make mistakes, course correct, and know that you are more than capable to figure it out to make things happen. Because men do that all the time, right? So just imagine if we all did that, how much we can achieve, right? And I do my best to practice that. Of course, I still get scared at times and I overthink. But I also realize what would happen if I don't take that action, if I don't go out there and do the scary thing. So thanks for sharing that great definition. And Lorraine, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I talk about this story in the introduction of my book, and I think at least with career related things, I think I lacked quite a bit of confidence early on. I was someone who just felt very like scared almost in corporate, felt like a fish out of water, very deferential, sort of didn't want to rock the boat in any way, just did what I was told. And I feel like over time, as I realized, oh, okay, I have to be advocating for myself. I can do the scary things, right? And be okay through it, even if I fumble. And that I can really take charge of my career and have more control over my fate instead of assuming that everything will kind of happen to me within a certain timeline, for example. I think that's really where I grew my confidence. So I share this story about how I worked at LinkedIn, loved my job there, always got great feedback, great reviews. But when it came time to promotion, I really struggled getting that promotion. And it really was a hit to my confidence. I'm like, why am I not getting this? And it wasn't until I switched jobs, moving to a company called Prezi, where I shifted my mindset, I tackled my career differently, and I really became the CEO of my own career, as I like to say it. And that's really like my confidence just grew exponentially through that. And then starting public speaking more as a personal goal also exponentially grew my confidence, and enough so that gained enough confidence to even start my own company just a few years ago. So these things really do build on each other. And I think a lot of it really boils down to the mindset shifts that you need. And again, like taking those chances, doing those scary things.
Thanks for sharing then. I know it's not always easy. We think, especially with Asian mentality, you're just told to work hard, and we work hard, right? We all we work so hard to the point we think things are going to happen for us when really it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. And, this is where your book, Unforgettable Presence, comes into play. And what was that moment, aha moment in your life that you realized, this was the book for you to go out there and write, share out to the world? Writing a book isn't easy, but it takes a lot of hard work. But yeah, what was that aha moment for you when you realized, this book was needed out there?
There was a moment a few years ago after I came out with my first LinkedIn Learning course, and a former colleague messaged me about it, said, "Great job." And then he sort of made this joke and he was like, "When's the book coming out?" And that was the first time I even really thought about a book. I had just started posting on LinkedIn more, again, doing the public speaking, being on webinars, things like that. But it wasn't something that had crossed my mind previously, almost like just wasn't thinking big enough. And that sort of planted the seed. And at the start of 2024, a publisher reached out to me, my publisher now, Wiley. And funnily enough, a few other publishers reached out after Wiley. And I, again, like feeling nervous and scared, like, is this the right time to do this? My business is still, just starting into year two, but sort of taking the signs from the universe, like I need to capitalize on this and take advantage of this. And I know how valuable books can be in growing your business and also getting your message out there. And so it was a bit of a combination of things where the publisher reached out and I was willing to take that leap, and I had created enough content and sort of had an understanding of my areas of expertise and what resonated with folks that I knew, like, okay, this is the right time. This is the topic I want to speak on. And this is what is going to be most impactful given the way our, working world is right now.
Thanks for sharing that. I know how scary it can be, right? You're presented with this opportunity, and it's a great opportunity. I mean, we have the same publisher. I like to say we're both Wiley sisters or author sisters, but something holds you back still because you're like, are you sure I'm the person to write about this topic? And especially, there's not a lot of Asian women authors out there, right, that write for big publishers. And one of the things I love about Wiley is they do represent a lot of Asian women authors from different topics. And so, adding more to the list, it's just exciting to see more different topics, whether it's AI or K dramas, and even just your book, right? Which is so needed because, especially in our culture, nobody talks about being present or showing up or showing your face or putting yourself out there. Most, especially Asian women, were taught to stay in the background, never make any noise, just do as you're told. So, having a book like this is so important, especially now, just in everything, whether you're in corporate or being an entrepreneur, like having unforgettable presence is important to stand out, to show who you are, who you truly are, what your talents and skills are. So I can't wait to dive into the book when it comes out. And because of that, what's your life been like now?
Life currently is very busy around the book, but life is really great. I'm in San Francisco. I am doing a lot of podcast interviews like this one, speaking, TV interviews as well around the book. And yeah, I'm really taking advantage of new opportunities as well. So I've started like dabbling in brand deals as well, which has been really fun. And again, like trying new things. I think being in year 3 of business, I have more focus now about what I like and what I don't like, but I'm still staying open to the new opportunities. And I'm certain new things will come my way from the book. So staying open, staying flexible. One of my favorite career quotes is over prepare, but don't over plan. So you want to be prepped when the opportunities come your way, but you don't want to be so rigid that you close yourself off to other opportunities or make your schedule so busy that you're not able to take on new things. So that's sort of the mentality that I'm going into with this year.
I love that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you'd give to her?
I would say that, oh gosh, I have so many. Okay. I think the first one that came to mind is to think about quote unquote failures as learnings. I think that was a huge mindset shift for me and can be really helpful, especially for perfectionists such as myself. Like you want to get everything perfect and everything correct, but to really think of failures as, okay, I tried that new thing and I should be really proud of myself that I did that. And maybe it didn't turn out how I wanted it to. And that's okay. And now I have that data and that information, and I can make a more informed decision or take a more informed action moving forward. So I think that has been a really important one for me. And then if I'm able to add a second one here, this concept that I talk about in the book called the spotlight effect, where we think that everyone is paying a lot more attention to us than they actually are, and that our mistakes, right? Like everyone, we make a little typo in an email and people are thinking like, oh my gosh, like Lorraine's so stupid, like she messed that up. And just to remember that everyone is busy thinking about themselves. So to hopefully not take mistakes or things that make you times where you might have felt awkward, for example, don't take those too much to heart and just know that this spotlight effect does exist and people are not paying as much attention to you as you think they are, at least to your mistakes.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And I still make a lot of grammar mistakes. You're not the only one. My sister always makes fun of me because she's like, your grammar's terrible. I'm like, leave me alone. And so, we're gonna make mistakes. It's fine. That's what the edit button's for. And so thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, pre-order your book, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Definitely. So to find out more about my book and also submit your pre-order receipt for a bunch of pre-order bonuses, you can visit unforgettablepresencebook.com. And I encourage everyone to connect with me, follow me on LinkedIn. My URL is linkedin.com/in/Lorraine K. Lee.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Lorraine, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Lorraine's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I just want to thank Lorraine today for taking the time to share her story and wisdom on self-confidence. Super excited for the book to come out. So thank you again, Lorraine.
Thank you, Sheena, for having me.
Not a problem. Such an honor having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. You can now purchase The Tao of Self-Confidence, a guide to moving beyond trauma and awakening the leader within on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Walmart, Indigo, and other major book retailers. Get your copy today. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. You can order your copy of Asian Women Who Boss Up book by visiting our website at thetowofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.